Do women even like whiskey? I'm Daniel Whittington, Chancellor of Wizard Academy and Whiskey Marketing School. I've got a challenge for you. We've got a solid group of people who watch these videos. It's not massive in the millions, but it is reasonably large. Thousands of you. So maybe we can make a small little difference in this one little way. So I want you to repeat after me. I swear to not contribute to the bullshit stereotypes that surround women in the whiskey industry. Fair? My name is Daniel Whittington. I'm Chancellor of Wizard Academy and Whiskey Marketing School. Man, that was a really weird one to take off the top of. I hear these stories all the time. And I'm going to give this whole rant, and I'm going to tell you some things I want you to do and not do. And I'm going to say, everything that I bring up as a concern, I have seen happen. Everything. All these things I'm going to tell you that you're like, there's no way, that's ridiculous. What kind of asshole? I have personally seen all of these happen or encountered some version of all of these things. These are not random one-off things. These are frustratingly frequent inside the whiskey industry. All the time. Women that I know in the whiskey industry experience people saying things like, do you even really like whiskey? And I'm not talking about from women who just like to drink whiskey and they're out at a bar and someone's like, really, whiskey? I'm talking about women whose entire livelihood is making the whiskey that you are drinking or selling or in production or in journalism and being asked, I mean, really though, do you really like whiskey? As a matter of fact, our Whiskey Foundation, which is a great organization based out of the UK, doing a lot of mentoring, and they did a study about women in whiskey. It covered 30 countries, polled women in 30 countries, whose jobs covered 4 categories. It was events, operations, office, including like marketing and administration, and retail. Basically every single version of where you could encounter the whiskey industry. 81% of the women polled had been asked if they really like whiskey. 89% had been interrupted or spoken over while talking about whiskey and had their knowledge questioned by someone who didn't know what they were talking about, simply because they were a woman in the whiskey industry. This is insane. It's infuriating. The stories that I could tell you would just, things, and it's not just like, okay, look, I've had people question my knowledge, right? I made a statement about whiskey and have another dude be like, yeah, but is that really true? And there's always those assholes. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people and women in a position of authority delivering information that they are knowledgeable about and then being questioned by some rando person or asked a question that a dude would never ask another dude, but for some reason is fine with asking a woman the same question. At one point, I had someone I know who was giving a tour to other whiskey industry people, and she is the head of production and blending. The most knowledgeable person in that little role right there. She had a trainee with her that she was training on tours, and this person was new. Barely knew anything about whiskey. Happened to be a guy. A group of a dozen people are walking around. At one point, one guy in the group on the tour interrupts the woman giving the tour, turns to the guy standing next to her, and asks a whiskey question. And the guy says, man, I don't know, you got to ask her. I'm training. And she answers, and the guy listens to her and then ignores her and then turns to the same dude, the trainee, and asks him a different question. You think I'm making this up? It's infuriatingly common. And so I thought, you know what? We have done as a tribe, as a whiskey tribe, we have done a really great job of helping move the needle in whiskey culture away from snobbery and towards the definition of good whiskey is whiskey you like the way you like to drink it. We've done a great job of it. I think we have had a very real, undeniable impact on the whiskey industry as a whole in that way. So can we do it again? But can we do it with normalizing women in whiskey, or minorities in whiskey, or any of the underrepresented people in the whiskey industry? Can we do it? Can we do that, please? Let's drink some Teeling, and then I'm going to give you some advice. And I'm going to give you some thoughts, and I'll clarify it in a second. Teeling is a whiskey that I love. I know the people at Teeling, like we're not best buds or anything, but at least two of the people on Teeling, I could talk to them if I wanted to talk to them, and I think they're amazing human beings, so it makes it a little hard for me to be objective about drinking Teeling, because I'm a fan, both of the whiskey and the people. But this one was brought to us. This is a gift from our recently minted level 2 whiskey sommelier, Ian Zink. And it's a Total Wine Special Edition 13-year-old single malt where it spent the first 9-ish years of its life in ex-bourbon, and then it was 4 years moved into PX sherry casks specifically. Now PX, as opposed to Oloroso, much denser, much sweeter, less of the nutty, more of the dark, deep, heavy fruits. So here we go. Wow. That is rich. That is deep, sweet pipe tobacco, aromatic, smoked while eating a bowl of overripe dark plums. It is black cherry forest, like black forest cherry cake. It's hard candy. It's really sherry sweet, sherry cask sweet. Like really, like right up there with some of the most sherried scotches I've ever had. This makes the sherry cask of Redbreast look like a faint, ghosted comparison of sherry. Wow. Also a butterscotch deep below that. Wow, there it is. There's that really bready shortbread, but just slathered in dark fruit jam and dark chocolate bites. Man, that might be the single most dense, most rich sherry cask Irish whiskey I have ever had. I can't even think of a second place that comes anywhere near this comparison. I mean, I had the Blue Spot, was a really, if I remember correctly, was a really heavy sherry. Nothing compared to this. 57.8%, that's part of it. And I forgot my water, but it's all good. Okay, I love this. The finish is just going for days. It's all sweet. It's all dark fruit, lingering, slight dryness. Yeah, and it just rolls way down the middle of the palate and crawls down the throat. Super oil, kind of musty. Man, they make such good whiskey. That's great. Okay, by the way, if you want to feel short, go hang out with Alex at Teeling. You'll feel even short, no matter what size, you'll feel smaller. He's a very tall dude. Okay, here's some ways that I think you can help, just really small little things. And they're going to sound, this is what's infuriating about this whole conversation, is my suggestions are going to sound so simple and stupid, like I'm talking to kindergartners, because that's how it feels to me. But I've seen all of these things happen with grown adults. I mean, at least in age, anyway. If you are at all involved in marketing, or a podcast, or a YouTube channel, or blog, go out of your way to make sure that you are representing in your thumbnails, and in your interviews, and in your content, and your history, and your studying, more than just dudes. Very simple. Just on purpose. Make a calculated effort. Right? If you want to talk about Maker's Mark, don't just talk about, don't forget Margie, right? If you're going to talk about the history of whiskey production, don't forget that it was women who ran all the stills on a regular basis for hundreds of years. Like, just make it in serious intention on your guests and things like that. When you're out in public, hanging out randomly with people, even not in events, but at bars, if you wouldn't say it to a dude because it would be a little bit of a dick move, don't say it to a woman. I know that seems silly, but it's a simple thing, right? If a guy orders a scotch and it's smoky, and you like smoky scotch, and you're like, yeah, right? But yet I've seen dudes say to a woman, wow, really? Smoky scotch? Really? A woman? But you said that to a dude. Dude orders Lagavulin 16. Your first thought isn't like, really? You're gonna drink smoky scotch? You sure you can handle it? But yet you'll say that to a woman. Don't do that. When you offer whiskey to people, you're at your house or you're in a group or you offer to buy drinks for people, say, who wants a whiskey? Instead of asking the dudes if they want a whiskey and then turning to the women and say, well, what do you ladies want? Again, this sounds so basic. I've encountered all these things as recently as last week. Follow more women on social media, on whiskey YouTube channels, on Instagram, on blogs. For the love of God, don't assume that your stupid question is a compliment. You really drink whiskey? I mean that as a compliment. That's cool. That's really strong whiskey for a woman. That's cool that you're drinking it. Don't put up with your friends carrying on the same stereotypes. Call them on it, right? Just don't contribute to it. Correct the truth. Correct the moment with truth instead of a stereotype. And like it or not, and liking whiskey or not liking whiskey is not about gender. It's about taste. That's all. Fair? Cheers to you. I'm really glad you're here. This channel is all about taste regardless of race, gender, preference, or anything other than liking whiskey. And obviously, if you have the best taste, then you like this channel and you will like and subscribe.